Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone. This is the Tarda Zone Talks. It actually pisses me off that I can't do me intros. Sorry about that. It does. It's annoying me now at this stage. The bloody thing froze as well on my end. I had to put on YouTube to make sure that I could time it properly. But I'm going to be on for about a half an hour. I've already sent the message to Brandon and Robert. We will get them on next week. Sent a little voice message there. So I was just going to come on tonight and just do a brief little stream on the online reaction, the war between the land and the sea. And it's not good, even from the other side of the fandom. Now, this is not highly anticipated. This is a spin-off that we didn't even want as Doctor Who fans. But, RTD has a habit of giving us what we don't want. Let's be honest about it. But the director obviously has been speaking about it, and he put up a photograph of him and Russell Tovey on a beach sunbathing together. I mean, what has that got to do with the actual show? I do not know, but he decided to do that. But just to let you know, because I've seen the comments, nobody wants this. Some of these 13 Doctor and Shooty Gatwa simps have actually dismissed this show off the bat. They don't want it, just like Doctor Who fans don't want it. And I've got to be honest, I don't see this doing anything in ratings. I think it's going to be an absolute disaster for the BBC. But the date has been confirmed, folks. The date has actually been confirmed, so let me get it up there. I had got it there, but because me YouTube start going crazy, so bear with me. So, no, that's Reddit. What are you going into Reddit for? Here we go. So, it's a 5-part series, so it's only 5 weeks, folks. So, I don't even think it's 5 weeks. I think there's certain episodes being released. I think we get 2 or something or whatever it is. But here is the details on it now. The series is produced by Bad Wolf with BBC Studios for the BBC and Disney branded television, and will launch with a double bill. So we get 2 episodes the first night. So then we've only got 3 weeks after that, folks. So they're going to put us out of our misery fast. So it will double on BBC iPlayer and BBC One in the UK at 8:30. Right, because it's an adult, because there's going to be a lot of banging going on in it. You know, this is going to be like RTDs. If everybody thought Torchwood was bad, because some people don't like Torchwood, right, because it was more adult and there was shit going on in that show. If you think that's bad, that was nothing compared to what this is going to be, right? This is going to be a big ass fucking banging fest with this show. So it's the 7th of December, so it launches on a Sunday, and we'll have 2 episodes at 8:30. Now, I just want to wish the best of luck to everybody that does decide to watch out of curiosity, but I can't even bring myself to hate watch this, right? I'll admit, I can't even bring myself to hate watch this, right? Because it just looks so bad. I mean, I watched the trailer, and it just looks so bad. It doesn't inspire me to say, yeah, this is going to be absolutely brilliant. For me, right, when I envisioned the Sea Devils show, I expect mystery. And I genuinely wanted it to be terrifying. And I don't think this is going to be terrifying, even though it is shown at a later time, happy, and is more for, I say, with adults. But I don't think this is going to hit the spot. I don't think this is going to be dark. I just look the trailer with it's just so bad. It's just so bad, and nobody wants it. This is the thing. Nobody wants it, and they're forcing it on us. Well, they're not forcing it on us because we don't have to watch, but you know what I mean. They're forcing something on in their franchise that we never wanted. And I'm not saying I'm opposed to spin-offs, by the way, because I'm not. Right? Not opposed to spin-offs. But I always said to you guys, do you remember the day that RTD was announced? What did I say? I said, unless the main show was on solid foundations, they can forget about doing spin-offs because it will all fall apart if the main show is doing shit. And that's exactly what's happened. The main show has tanked. Right? The main show has tanked. So how do they think that this spin-off is going to do something? And I think deep down, you know, BBC know. That's why we're getting the double bill. They want to get this out as quick as possible. If they could drop the whole 5 episodes, I wouldn't be surprised if they do that actually on BBC iPlayer, but I doubt they would do that. But if they could drop all the episodes, I say they fucking would at this stage. Why Doctor Who fans have to suffer more is beyond me. And you know, I've had conversations with other people who were originally excited about this, who now have no desire to watch. No desire to watch whatsoever. So, you know, this is a very dark moment in the Doctor Who fandom. And it should be the wake-up call for fans out there. And, you know, these same fans, you know, that championed Chris Chibnall and championed RTD too, yeah, while they don't want this, they still want Doctor Who to carry on in the same vein that it's carried on the last few years. I mean, when are you guys going to open your eyes and realise that nobody wants Doctor Who to be queered up? Right? I'll say it out straight. Nobody wants that. Right? Doctor Who is a science fiction show. It should be intelligent. Right? And Ian Diaz, who does Rebecca Gold, he's a producer, right? He's been on this channel many times, and I brought it up yesterday because I thought it was a valid point. And he says that Doctor Who needs to grow up. And that's exactly what needs to happen with Doctor Who now. It needs to grow up, right? The fact that you try to focus it on a certain age group or certain people is why Doctor Who has failed, right? Doctor Who should scare the shit out of kids. In 2025, TV executives or TV producers or whatever it is, writers, they're afraid to scare the children. I remember the first time I seen, and maybe you guys in the chat, and I'll throw some of your comments up, let me know the Doctor Who story that you watched that absolutely scared the shit out of you as a kid. Because I remember watching, right, Pyramids of Mars. That was scary enough for me, right? But Genesis of the Daleks, right, that to me was terrifying, right? That to me was absolutely terrifying, right? Hiding behind the sofa stuff, that was for me. They don't want to upset kids now or frighten them anymore because you'll get some parent, no, you frightened me, kid. Well, don't fucking watch it then. Or maybe get your child to grow a set of fucking balls and grow up like. Do you know what I mean? I miss the good old days. This is why I love Air Pardons when we were growing up, right? I watched Child's Play as a kid, Nightmare on Elm Street as a kid, Halloween, right? Feckin' you name it, all the skit. The Exorcist. I saw The Exorcist when I was 8 years old or something. 8, 9, 10 years old. Whatever it was. I can't remember the exact. But I was a kid. And I still love that. It was actually voted just recently the best horror of all time. And I've been saying that to me, The Exorcist is the pinnacle of horror. Right? It's the gold standard. Now, I know to a lot of people, The Exorcist has aged, and some people laugh at it now. But at the time in 1975, when that was released, people were bleeding hospitalized after watching that movie. Right? People had nervous breakdowns after watching that movie, right? I miss the fear factor. I miss the scare factor in Doctor Who, right? We got Lee in the chat. I sent a message to the two other lads as well. I'm just going to come on for about a half an hour, Lee. I'm had a bit of a long day, so if you want to, as I said to the lads, if you want to come on Monday or Tuesday, let me know, and we'll arrange a stream then, and we'll continue our conversation that we had yesterday, because there's still plenty to talk about in relation to that. But, someone mentioned the empty child there. That's probably the empty child and Dalek is at midnight are probably, and no, hold on. The empty child, the Doctor Dances, you had the Satan Pit, the Impossible Planet, Dalek, and they were at midnight. They were terrifying, right? And he had no problem scaring the fucking kids. I don't know why people are gone soft, man. But Doctor Who needs to grow up, right? It needs to mature now. I don't want any more, in the direction it's been going in. It needs to go in a new direction now. Same with the James Bond franchise. Apparently, they're figuring that they can't figure out how to move on from the franchise because of the last movie. It's easy as fucking idiots. You just reboot the fucking thing, right? Nobody actually gives a fuck about the last James Bond movie anyway. A lot of James Bond fans were disgusted by that movie. So all you have to do is just fucking ignore it and reboot the fucking franchise. It's not that fucking hard. I mean, if Amazon can't fucking reboot the fucking James Bond franchise, then what the fuck are they doing with it in the first place? Right? It's easy. And it's the same with Doctor Who. Right? It's easy for everybody keeps banging on timeless child, this, that, and the other. They need to fix this. No, they don't. Right? All they just fucking need to do is reboot this franchise again and ignore what came before it. Right? That's all fans have to do. Just ignore it. You don't like, suppose you don't like the new Who era anyway. So why does it, you know what I mean? So let them reboot the fucking thing. That's what they should do. Right? It needs to mature. It needs new, fresh blood. Right? And new ideas. It's not that fucking hard. But back to the war between the land and the sea. It's going to be an absolute... Yeah, Blink was scary. I'll give you that, JW. Yes. That's actually... that's a fair one. That Blink was good. I do like Blink. I like Blink, but it's overrated. Right? And people can argue with me on that. Right? The Time of the Angels is a much better story, right? The one with River Song, right? That's a much better story than Blink. Blink introduced, obviously, the Weeping Angels, but that's not the best story of the Weeping Angels, right? But it's good, but I think it's overrated, to be quite honest with you. For me, anyway. Actually, is there anybody else in the chat that thinks it's overrated? Let me know. But I do think it's overrated. As I said, The Time of the Angels and Flesh and Stone, that two-parter is a much better Weeping Angel story. And I think it's actually more sinister. Look what they did to Bob, Angel Bob. Like, that's sinister shit right there. Right? No, I'm not saying it's not brilliant. I'm saying it's overrated. I think there's better Weeping Angel stories. That's all. To be honest, I agree. The Angels using Scared Bob to taunt the Doctor was dark. Exactly, and look at Matt Smith's face. Look at that performance, man. That whole performance. And by the way, people don't realise that was the very first few scenes that he had actually done in Doctor Who, was that story, right? So think about it. He even then, right, in that performance, showed why he was the right pick for Doctor Who. Matt Smith will eventually, people will actually, because some of us do know how good he is, but I think as time passes by, people will understand how lucky we were to have Matt Smith as the Doctor. He was an absolutely fantastic Doctor. His facial expressions, I mean, he was a young man that was playing an old ancient Time Lord, and he played it to fucking perfection. He played it to perfection. JWC reviewer says, it's brilliant story. Time of the Angels was very sus. Blink is one of those, one of over familiar things like the famous comedy. Oh, sorry, me chat is a bit of, let's say, famous comedy sketches or songs that people always reference. At least Blink was totally very Doctor Who. I would agree with you on that one, Lee. That did see. There are few episodes within the New Who era that definitely felt like Doctor Who stories, and that's one of them. And I would actually say the Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit. That's a very good that old story. That's brilliant, man. That's brilliant. Look, there's some cracking stories in there, and it's just a pity they don't over the lot because it's tainted those stories for some people, and that breaks me heart because there are genuine good stories within the New Who era, and I'll fight anybody over that. There definitely is. Oh, we've got Peter from Australia watching us. So welcome, Peter. Nice to have you in the chat there. We've also got Robert, of course. We've got Garbage Who AI. He calls him Garbage Who AI now because he's doing a lot of AI. I've seen a lot of Doctor Who fans experiment with AI. Some of it is very good, and some of it is truly awful. But look, the bottom line is, you know, you live and learn. And these people, look, I'm not great myself, so I can't really say anything. But sometimes you get it right, and sometimes it's absolutely crap. I'm not talking about you, Garbage. I'm just talking about fans in general. I watched Vincent and the Doctor today. Incredible, off the scale. Matt Smith. Yeah, that's a. You know, I love that story. It's heartbreaking, though. It's actually heartbreaking because we all know the story of Vincent, right? And we all know what happened to him in his life, and you know, it's just, yeah, that story really got to me. I have to be honest, man. Have to be honest. We've got Cinnamon in the chat as well. Of course, we have Lee, as I said. Welcome again. Who else have we got? I did see some other faces there. Hold on, I'm scrolling up now. We've got the Oti in the chat as well. Welcome. Who else? And we got Stephen Bradrick in the chat as well. Nice to see you there. And I think that's everybody. If I've missed anybody, of course, just leave a comment there and I'll give you a little bit of a shout out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, won't you? Not. Robert with an interesting one there. I'll be interested to see how many people feel the same way, actually. More episodes have made me cry than fright since being an adult, at least. Well, we know what storyline made me cry a few years back. Probably one of my most honest and embarrassing moments at the same time. But I was absolutely heartbroken. I'm not going to lie about it, you know. What they do to these things that we grew up with, it's just shocking. It's disgraceful, it is. They don't care about people's feelings. But it seems that fans on both sides of the divide are not looking forward to the war between the land and the sea. And I'm actually delighted that that's happened. But they will try champion another gobshite for Doctor Who, because that's what they're doing. They're already doing their little videos on who they think should be showrunner and all of this, and they're people connected to RTD. You know, they're probably being paid by these people to throw their names out there. And be under no illusion, they are being paid to throw names about. We know that a few streamers out there that we used to have on this channel that are high up there now, and you know, yeah, they're the mouthpieces for the current regime, or have been the mouthpieces for the current regime. So, you know, they're pushing their choice. They're pushing their choices, and that's why it's important that we remain vocal throughout all of this. Because, you know, whether people are done with Doctor Who or not, if it continues, it's just going to continue to be dragged through the mud. And I'm sorry, I can't stay silent on that, and I never will. Even if I turn me back on the show and I don't watch, I will still be vocal. Because, you know, I'm a fan and I want to see it the best done by it. It's as simple as that. It's not rocket science. Strange how the other side say men should be more emotional. Laughed at Noel for crying. Shows exactly what these people are. More concerned about kink shaming than men's feelings. Thank you. That's an absolutely spot on comment as well. It is ironic, right? It is, like. But that was a sucker punch. That was a sucker punch. That was years of canon just pissed on. Like, you know what I mean? And the fact that they didn't think fans would get upset. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only fan that got upset that night. I just let all the emotion out on that live stream that night, right? I probably should have done it away from the live stream. And I was pretty calm backstage. This is what everybody will tell you that was on that stream that night. I was pretty calm backstage. I was angry, but I was pretty calm. But when we started talking about it, and as I was talking about it, I realized the gravity of what they had actually done. And that's when I just actually collapsed and lost it. And you all know what happened then. It was, yeah, that was not a pleasant experience, I've got to say. I was totally devastated. Mr. Fish with a super chat, but he hasn't said that. 10 Australian dollar. Thanks for that, Peter. Really appreciate that. I was angry and cry. I was in shock, says Cinnamon. Dialti says, I was angry at it. The funny thing is, RTD1 era did actually mature as it went along. Series 4 was quite dark in some places compared to the earlier ones, for example. I do like Season 4. I do like Season 4, and I would have to agree with you, Season 4 is actually dark. I was just hoping it would continue in that vein, you know. And I mean, Moffat tried. I suppose Moffat did actually try, but he was never going to be able to succeed with BBC fucking Adam all the time. I don't blame Moffat for everything, because he did try push back as much as he could. It just came to a point where he couldn't push back anymore. And I think he was tired and he was burnt out at that stage. And he was just like, fuck it, you know what? Fuck it. He was getting it from all sides. The feminists were doing podcasts about him, giving out about Amy Pond. The fact that she was in mini skirts and all of this other shit. Little did they know that Karen Gillan had a say in what clothes she wore. It wasn't that she was forced into any of these things, but you know, feminists, they'll always fucking try find a way to fucking moan. They're always fucking moaning. Like today, Sky Sports launched an app for women, and apparently, like middle-aged men made it, and it's ridiculous and all of this. You can't win with feminists. Like you want more of a platform. You want more equality and all of this. And then when they do something for you, you accuse the patriarchy again, because it's always their fault. Right? I'll go one step further and say this, right? Men's game funds the women's game. Women have no right to be commenting on men's football, right? If they want to help the women's game, they should focus on the women's game, all the presenters, the female presenters, instead of coming into our space and commenting on a men's game that's completely different to the women's game. It makes no sense, right? And now they have a platform, they're not happy. With Jenna wearing skirts as well. Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, they accused Stephen Moffat of sexism and all of this other shit. What can you? I mean, it's just crap. But this show, like, look, as I said, I can't even bring myself to hate watch it. I can't, and it's going to be the first time that I'm not watching that and connected to Doctor Who. And that's probably a huge step for me. Because a lot of you have known me a long time now. And you know I normally give in and I end up submitting to everybody who says, oh no, go on, do a review. We want to hear what you think about it. But as I said, this time that's not going to work. I'm not actually watching it. Why should I? Why should I? Right? He doesn't respect any of us, right? He proved that. He doesn't respect fans, right? And he doesn't respect the show, right? He doesn't respect the sea. I mean, the change the Sea Devils to Homo Aqua because Sea Devils is problematic. Just like Ross being in a wheelchair apparently was problematic, but then you had your woman going around with fucking rockets and crap coming out of her wheelchair. No, can you do a stream on it? Just don't watch it. Press 1 if you think Noel will cave in. See, this is the thing now. Now that you've actually put that up, Lee, I'm going to make you're going to lose this one. Defo. No, I'm not watching it. I'm not. I'm serious. I'm not. I can't. Because if I watch it, I know I'm going to get. And I don't want the Sea Devils ruined. So if I don't watch, they're not going to be ruined for me, Eddie. So, no. As I said, while that show is on, we may do the classic Sea Devils stories, right? That's what we're going to do instead. So, Lee, if you want to come on for a bit of that, because we do like the old doing the classic watch-along, that's what we'll do, right? We'll remind people what the Sea Devils are supposed to be, right? Not this fucking abomination that RTD wants to force on us. Lee says, if the Sea Devils is so problematic and racist, why are they airing an edited omnibus edition of the Sea Devils before? Well, you see, I was thinking about that last night, and let me know what you guys think in the chat. So they say they've edited it to an hour and a half. But has anybody not considered that they might have put some extra scenes in there to connect the war between the land and the sea? Because I think that's what might be happening here. Because remember, Chips did it. He started putting the Masters posters, right? When the Master wasn't even around, putting posters in the animated stuff. I think they might actually do that. They might have edited something into this to connect to this stupidity that they're doing today. Now, that's just my opinion. It's not a fact. It's not anything I've heard. It's just going by past behaviours of these people. That's what I think is happening here. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Mr. Fish says he likes the Sea Devils. We do. They're good. I have to agree with you. The Sea Devils are great, but these Homo Aqua are going to be absolutely terrible. Don't the Sea Devils call each other Sea Devils? Says JWC reviews. Or Cinnamon, I should say. JWC says, I noticed that the Sea Devils re-edit. It's on the same day. Zippity doo dah. So there you go. I think that's what's happening then. If it's the same day, right? If it's the same day, they're not. They wouldn't. They wouldn't dare. Would they? Would they? We'll see. Who's going to watch that edited, watered down version of that anyway? I don't have BBC, so thank fuck. I don't have me TV license. I don't have BBC, as I said. When I said I was getting rid of mine, I actually did. I don't have Netflix. I don't have Disney Plus. Don't have Paramount. I have none of them. None of them. And it's so much better. I can watch what I want myself, and I don't have to, have shit pushed on me. I can watch whatever I want. Rob Fellows says, I will watch the mackerel on loop rather than that fish paste on the show. Don't make me cough. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, we'll wrap up in a few minutes. I'll go for a few minutes more, but not much longer, because I want to save the time. They're showing Sea Devils for context. No RTD fan knows who they are. Well, I'd have to disagree with that one. The reason why I say that is because Chibnall did the Sea Devils. So if they don't know what the Sea Devils are, well, then they're not a fan of Doctor Who. I'm sorry, I don't think any person that calls themselves a Doctor Who fan doesn't know what the fucking Sea Devils are. You mean to tell me that you've never looked back or whatever? But you are right, probably some of them don't. But they don't know what the Sea Devils are now. Well, then don't call yourself a fan, because Chibs only did it a while back. I mean, his design of the Sea Devils was absolutely fantastic. The only thing with Chibs and his Sea Devils he made them fly, didn't he, or something, and he had laser swords or whatever the fuck they had. That shit was crap. But the Sea Devils design itself was fucking brilliant. I have to give Chibs his credit there, right? I have to give Chibs his credit there. Some of these redesigns are much better have always been much better actually than RTDs, right? Look at the fucking Jadoon, right, redesign. Well, not the Jadoon, the fucking... But the Jadoon were redesigned by Chibs. He put a mohawk on them, didn't he? Not the Jadoon, the fucking Sontarans. Look at the Sontaran design that RTD did, right? They look like Humpty Dumptys, right? Big mad potato Humpty Dumptys. They bit of a joke, really. Chibs Monsters genuinely, they did. That's the thing. You know what? I just wish that he just had to put the agenda to one fucking side. And I still think he wouldn't have been great. But if he had to put the agenda to one side, I think people would have said, okay, he's not that great, but he's trying. He's trying. But he kind of ruined it, didn't he? Yeah, his Daleks were crap. Yeah. And then his Daleks were crap, but then he did... What was the Dalek episode, the special that he did, that was actually decent? The one where the Dalek is just standing in the middle of the road and takes them all out, starts spinning around and shit. That was fucking dead. He had some good moments with the Daleks, but the Dalek redesign, I remember I was slagging them off. They looked like female Daleks, we were saying. They just looked off. But Yeah, it's just absolutely. It was Was it Revolution or Resolution? Two lads. Cinnamon saying it's Resolution, but JWC reviews are saying it's Revolution. And Resolution of the Daleks, says Robert Payne with a question mark. Hourglass Daleks, yeah, that's what they look like. Yeah, the slimline. Fucking madness. It was a New Year's Day episode, yeah. Again, another thing they should never have done. Oh, so it is. Everybody is okay. So New Year's Day episode, yeah, it was. And JWC says it was a typo. Weight Watchers Daleks. That's yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Pretty awful. Yeah, we've been through a lot as Doctor Who fans. Like, you know, the one good thing that we had going, you know, that kept us from going insane and losing the plot, because everything around us is losing the fucking plot. They've ruined and taken away. I didn't mind the LEDs in the Daleks garbage Who AI. I didn't mind the lights on them either, but they should have been the original Daleks, you know. I much prefer the smarty Daleks. So what do I know? Well, yeah, Moffat did them because wasn't there? He wanted to just do his own version of them. But the reason why people kind of hated those Daleks wasn't necessarily, you know, the design. To a certain extent, they were a bit chunky, but it was the color scheme. It was the color scheme, and I know they have color. They've had Daleks with color before, but they were just ridiculous. I didn't like their new voice. I thought the Dalek voices that they had was actually more sinister. But they just looked ridiculous. They did. They just looked ridiculous. And garbage is the same. I like the Smarties Teletubby Paradigm Daleks. I just wish they were a bit slimmer and not as chunky. If they had been less chunky, they would have been actually great. And changed the colour. Should have just made them all white or something, or just gold. Kept them gold or whatever. Grey. There's so many different colours that they could have done. Didn't Tom Baker want Dalek singing Christmas carols? Oh, talking about Tom Baker, they've been throwing up some photographs of Tom Baker. God love him. Look, that man is Doctor Who. That man is a legend, and the fact that he's still going, and his love for, you can see it. He loves it. He loves it, right? He said he had regrets from the way from years ago. No, he's well made up for it. I mean, the man just oozes charisma, even at the age that he is now. He oozes charisma. I mean, he had his costume on. Oh my God, the man, he had his scarf and all on, right? He is the Doctor. 98. I mean, oh, it's not. He's 91. Sorry, 91. I thought he was 91. Someone said to me today, because I was saying it'll be a sad day, you know, and someone was saying, "Oh, he's getting to 100," and I says, "He fucking better. He fucking better." I love that man. Without him. Look, we say about the other doctors, but Tom Baker really, his version of the Doctor really sent it to the stratosphere. and he is the ultimate Doctor. And the fact that he had a bit of a, I hate to say it, but he did have a bit of a mad face. He did look a bit alien. So, I mean, and then the way he went on as well just fit perfect. Unbelievable. But anyway, back to this war between the land and the sea. So the 7th of December, 8:30 on a Sunday, they're going to drop 2 episodes. So whoever does watch it, when we're doing watch-alongs that night, if you just want to come in and tell us how bad it was, come in and let us know how bad it was. Let me know if you're actually watching it in the comment section there, because it'd be very interesting to see how many of you are actually going to tune in. But I'm not watching, and that's a guarantee. I'll be doing watch-alongs instead. As I said, we're gonna do some Sea Devils ourselves, but proper Sea Devils, not these homo actor, whatever he wants to fuck. I swear to good God, he's something else. He's absolutely gone off his rocker with all of this crap. But look, if rumors are to be true, right, this is going to be bad, right? He's been brought back to do the Christmas special. Now, apparently, they'll have to start filming next year around February and March to have it ready for Christmas. But I'm not quite sure if RTD will still be there, because if this is so bad, which I believe it's going to be, BBC would be mad. I'm telling you, BBC will be mad to get him to come in to try fix his own shit. Just ignore it and just reboot the fucking show. Just ignore it and reboot the fucking show, right? I mean, you just have the perfect fucking character that can regenerate anyway, right? Just reboot the fucking thing and ignore what came before, right? Don't even number this Doctor. You see this numbering system now as well. That needs to get rid of that now. I don't want that bollocks anymore now, right? Just reboot the thing, right, and start again, right? I mean, obviously, you still have the classic Who there as a reference, but just reboot the thing. That's the only way it's the only way that you're gonna get anywhere now, right? You can't try. The fact that the BBC are trying to fix this, don't try and fix it. It's too messy. You can't fix it, right? Because it's not just about RTD2, right? It's Chris Chibnall's era as well. Okay, you've got the fugitive Doctor and the timeless child and all of that nonsense, right? There's just too much to fix, right? So don't fix it. Leave it, right? And I don't care if it upsets the other side of the fandom, right? They don't give a shit about Doctor Who, right? They never have, right? They're more interested in who's kissing who and blah, blah, blah. That's what they're in, right? So just reboot the thing. It's not that hard, right? And go from there. See what happens. And don't tell me you can't get a successful show. If the Traitors can get 13.2 million and is entertaining, well, I'm not saying that Doctor Who should get 13.2 million or around that. To me, as I said, success now looks like 8-9 million in overnights, and I'd be happy with that. Right, that's what success look like for Doctor Who now, with the turmoil that we've had. Right, this whole crap of TV habits have changed. Right, when BBC actually do a successful show and it's entertaining, they get people tuning in each week. Right, it's not got to do with TV habits changing. Right, the bottom line is that Doctor Who fans have been starved of quality for a long, long time. Right. And the quality started to dip under the for me personally, the quality actually dipped under Moffat. And the decline started under Moffat. That's what I believe personally anyway. I know some of you don't and think it's the whole lot, but for me, the decline started under Moffat. Not his first couple of seasons, but after that you could see that the show was declining, especially after Peter Capaldi came in, because, you know, there was a lot of ageist pricks in our fandom. He's too old to play the Doctor. Do you remember all of that shit? It's too old to play the Doctor. I'm not watching Doctor Who now. Well, then fuck off then. And that's what they did. Right? They fecked off and then they all came back then when Jodie was cast. Right? So these same people that talk about tolerance and inclusivity, as soon as they cast an older guy to play the Doctor, they all ran off like the little bitches that they are. Which was the biggest mistake that she's made, because Peter Capaldi is probably the best actor. No, not probably. He is the best actor. The actor with the best CV, I suppose. But he really did. Some of those stories were awful, but yeah, he elevated them. And, you know, because he elevated them, those bad stories became a little bit more palatable because of his acting ability. I never forget that, the way the young fans treated Peter Capaldi. I'll never forgive them for that. And then to celebrate them when he read you, and the shit that they said about him after he left, and the slander and the absolute horrible behaviour coming from those fans was an absolute joke. No wonder the man hasn't come back to Doctor Who. I wouldn't fucking blame him. Right? Wouldn't blame him. But if he was listening here, I would say, just know that there are fans like me that have watched the show for decades, that loved you playing the role and loved you as the Doctor. And you're up there. You're in my holy trinity anyway. Right? So you're up there for me as one of the best Doctors. And that'll never change. That'll never change. Mr. Fish thinks Peter Capaldi is the best of the New Who, says the New Who Doctors, I think he's saying. So, yeah, I would agree with that. So, yeah, so there we go. Anyway, I just wanted to come on and just do a little, give me your opinion on this Sea Devils stuff. But the online reaction is bad. And if you go into the official accounts, the Doctor Who one and the War Between the Land and the Sea, and even the director's account, and look at the comment section, you could tell that even that side of the fandom has zero interest in this. So I don't actually see this doing well in the ratings. Now, what I will do, and the only thing that I'm doing in connection to it, is the ratings, right? We will talk about the ratings and how good or bad the ratings actually are. But that's all I'll be doing, right? I'm not watching it. I can't even bring myself, as I said, to hate watch this shit, right? Don't want it. Never want. Don't want it. Not that. Anyway, not what he's bringing to the table, right? If they wanted to do a Sea Devil spin-off, I wouldn't have minded that if it was written by someone else and stuff like that. We'd probably get something different, right? But because RTD is involved and Bad Wolf Studios is involved, we know it's going to be a pile of fucking horseshit. And just for, because Peter Capaldi's brought up again, remember, they forced him out, right? Never forget what they did to him. They forced him out, right? Peter never wanted to leave, right? And don't buy that shit, right? Don't buy that shit, because 3 weeks before he was actually announced he was leaving, he'd come out and he said that he couldn't wait to work with Chris Chibnall, because they'd worked together before on obviously the Children of the Earth, the Wood third season, which to me is probably some of the best Who that we've ever gotten actually in the Who-universe, I should say. That whole show, and when you find out what Captain Jack did and everything, like even to his own nephew, right, to save the world, it was pretty fucking dark, that. But I loved that. That was brilliant. Peter Capaldi was in that. Absolutely fantastic he was. And he was absolutely buzzing to be working with Chibs. 3 weeks later, he's on the radio crying, saying he's leaving the show. Don't ever tell me that he left of his own accord, because you don't know. No, just like you know people out there saying Chaos in Cardiff didn't happen. Yes, it did. Right? And again, the reason why we're in the situation now is because there was shit going on behind the scenes for the last couple of years under RTD, right? Because if people don't realise, right, working for RTD, Jane Tranter and Bad Wolf is a toxic fucking environment for anybody to work in, right? And remember when Millie Gibson was being bullied? Remember when Millie Gibson was being bullied by the newspapers, saying she was a diva and all? Now, we covered it and we said, look, the media are saying she's a diva, this, that, and, you know, we heard that, you know, she was complaining about certain things, blah, blah, blah. But the media went hard on her. Where was RTD, Jane Tranter, or the BBC to protect that girl? They were nowhere to be fucking seen, right? So much for picking up for fucking women as well, right? That they allowed that to happen. And they hadn't even got the decency to put out a statement to say that she was actually still part of the fucking show. They waited until the last minute. Oh no, she's gone nowhere. Well, why didn't you do it at the very start and stop all the newspaper headlines? Look at me, Lee, and everybody else that spoke about Chaos in Cardiff, talk about the shit that happened behind the scenes, will be vindicated, right? Eventually, like we always are. And we will be vindicated, right? Okay? And we don't come out and just say these things because, you know, we're trying to cause... We report on what we get told, right? And time again, I think our sources have proven to be correct, right? So when they tell us that shit is going on, I don't fucking doubt them for 1 minute, right? And I wasn't the only one. I was the one that broke the Chaos in Cardiff stuff, right? But other people followed suit, right? And start getting their own reports and backed me fucking up on that. The truth will come out. I will be vindicated, right? And at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people will have to look at themselves in the mirror and actually reconcile with the way that they behave towards me, me wife, me dog, me friends, the people in this community, right? All because I was reporting stuff that I was given that turned out to be absolutely spot on. And I'm talking about the whole fandom, all of those Vance, Tvance, and all of these other fucking gobshites that came after me day after day, threatened my family, threatened my life, threatened me dog's life, me friends, all over it because I was reporting stuff. I tell you, if I told you all the stuff that I got now, probably the whole shit would probably start up again, right? But I don't need it, right? I never needed this. You know, people came to me and asked me, "No, we've got information. Are you willing to put that information out there? Do you want to put that information out there?" Right? There's loads of stuff that I haven't told you, right? And I know the stuff that Lee hasn't told you. There's loads of stuff that none of us have told you. Right? But eventually it'll all come out. Timing is everything. And there will come a time where we're able to discuss everything. And when we do, you will be shocked. You will be shocked. It's just this whole Bad Wolf era has been the most toxic thing to happen to Doctor Who. And the people they've employed haven't been employed based off talent, right? That's a fact. It's who you know, the connections, right? They're all in their own little clique, right? Don't hire outside from the outside. Keep a closed house. When you get an environment like that, you're bound to get toxicity. And you just have to look, even when Torchwood was being filmed, there was toxicity behind the scenes as well. And there was a lot of behaviour that was going on behind the scenes that shouldn't have went on behind the scenes. Now, I have picked up for John Barrowman because he was messing, but still, he was allowed to behave like that because nobody told him that he couldn't do it. Right? So that's on RTD and Jane Tranter. But yeah, they don't get cancelled, but John Barrowman did. So it's very easy to blame the other people that act out in this environment, but people don't actually say, well, why is he acting like that? What's the environment like? Who is responsible? Well, the people that are running the fucking show, running the gig, are responsible. Anyway, I went an hour in the end. Jesus. Well, it doesn't matter. I kind of wanted to get all of this out and off my chest, I suppose. So, yeah. I think I will leave it there now. But I just want to thank it's Mr. Fish, Peter, all the way from Australia. Thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate it. To all of the people in the chat, Robert Garbage, Stephen, the Odie, Cinnamon, who else? Cinnamon, JWC Reviews, Robert as well. And I saw Rob Fellows is in the chat as well. Yeah, saw him. So, yeah, thank you all for joining me. I think Stephen was in there as well. Yeah, Stephen's there as well. I just don't want to miss anybody. But on, thank you all for joining me tonight for tonight's stream. I hope you have enjoyed it. Do us a favour, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you wouldn't mind, I don't know how it works really. I did hype one of those streams there a couple of weeks back just to see what it was all about, and I still can't figure it out what a feckin' is. But if you could hype me stream as well, I'd really appreciate that. What's with the face, Lee? What's wrong? Aw, you sad? Don't be sad. Don't be sad. So before I do go, I suppose, because PD is not here, I should give a few channels a bit of a shout out. I don't normally do it, so I will today. So go and check out Garbage Who AI's channel, Drawn Jack Rabbit's channel, of course Daniel's channel as well. If you're into your wrestling and other stuff, Daniel is doing a lot of stuff on his channel. Go and check it out. Cinnamon Toast Crunch also has a channel. Go and check it out. Robert has a channel as well. You can go and check that out also. Problem Being has a channel, but he doesn't promote us, but I will. Problem Being has two channels. I can't get it right, but let's see if I can get it right this time. Audred Audio Visual, and I've probably still said that wrong. And you've got Problem Being channel as well. Go and check out those two channels. Dan, I think, is live right now on the Spacebook. So you can go, or Type 40. You can go and check out his channel as well, and of course Rabbi from Another Planet as well. He's I think he's streaming as well. That's why PD is not here, so he's on as well. So go and check him out as well. Who else? Am I forgetting anybody? I don't think I have forgotten anybody. Real Super Doctor or Real Super John has a channel as well. You can go and check his channel out as well. Garbage just put his channel there in the comment section there, and he's also put Robert's Rabbi's channel there as well. So thanks for that. So yeah, that is it, I suppose. I don't know if I am forgetting anybody, but if I am, I apologise. There's just so many of yous out there that I'm kind of, I'm bad with lists, so Garbage is putting them in anyway. So he's doing me a favour there. So thank you very much. So I'll say good night to you all. I'll probably come back tomorrow, maybe early, do a half an hour or something. Just come on and have a chat. Nothing related to Doctor, just have a general chat. Remember, we used to do the Sundays, do a little bit of a general chat. Might do tomorrow or Sunday. Sorry, Sunday, because it's only I'm getting confused. What day is it today? It's only Friday, isn't it? Saturday? Oh, it's Saturday, yeah. So I'll be back tomorrow. I'm getting all confused here. Right. So I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe do an afternoon stream. Come on for a half an hour. Have a bit of a natter, as we do. The old Sunday night Sunday afternoon natters, where we talk about random shit. Or you can ask me a couple of questions or whatever. Bit of a Q&A maybe. We can do that. Yeah, but don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I don't know what this hype and business. I'm still trying to figure it out, but if you could hype me stream as well. I don't know how that works, but you could do that. I don't know if it gets me more views or whatever, but if you could do that, it would be really helping me out, because it's gotten to this state. I don't want to discuss it here, because if I do, it'll be used against me. But the bottom line is that, like a lot of yous out there, my finances are not very good at all. And we're kind of struggling here. So if you could just like, share, subscribe, hype, that's all I'm asking you to do. If you could do that for me, absolutely fantastic. So, you all know about me buying me a coffee. If you could do that as well, that's absolutely fantastic. But anyway, you support the channel, even a comment, it all makes a difference. So please do any one of those things to help me out, and I really appreciate it. So I'll say good night to you all. Enjoy you all night. Yeah. God bless you all, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a good one, folks, and thanks for listening. Bye bye. Do 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 do. Have to do me on music. Do 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 do.